Next boy. Thank you, next. My first kiss sounds like an attention whore. What a freaking dick. And there was blood running down my ballet tights. Yep. Hey guys, today I am so excited to be filming this video. I made an anonymous Google form and I had you guys tell me what is going on in your life and what you need help with. Keep in mind that I am 18 years old. I do not know everything in life, but this is what I would do if I was in your situation, and I feel like it helps us connect even more. Let's go on to the form. And by the way, I told you guys to make them relatively juicy, and you guys did so. One more thing I forgot to say. This is a new series on my channel, so I'm not gonna get to all of them today because there are a lot, but I will hopefully get to them in future videos. Anyway, I live about 5 minutes away from this boy that I've been snapping for the past few months, and he wants to meet, but I'm unsure. I feel bad for not meeting after this long. I have been through this one before too, snapping a dude, and you know, you haven't really hung out much. What I have to say is if you're feeling unsure and uncomfortable about meeting them, it's probably a sign that you shouldn't. I think that if this excites you, then I say go for it, but if it's making you so unsure and so uncomfortable, don't do it. And also don't feel bad for not meeting up with him. I mean, he can suck it up. My advice? Okay. I don't know how to get over a boy who I never dated. This has happened to me way too many times. I honestly think that it's harder to get over a boy that you were never with than if you dated, because you really got to know the person you dated and you got to see their good and bad. But when you haven't dated, a lot of the times you just see the good parts of them. So it makes it harder to get over, and I completely understand that. My recommendations are to try to keep yourself busy and try not to obsess over them. Meaning, don't look through their Instagram, don't look through their Snapchat, don't look at their Snapchat score, don't look through their memories. Just don't obsess. This is a really good, interesting one. How do you go from hookup / friends with benefit relationship with someone to something serious? How do you establish the difference between them? I want a boyfriend, but I feel like I always hook up with them too soon and it always becomes strictly sexual. It's what I've always done, and I don't even know how to get a guy to like me in a relationship way without any sex involved at all. I don't get how people do it. Same. Hopefully that made sense. Of course it did. This one is tough. If you're so used to constantly hooking up with someone, how do you get into a relationship? I guess it's just setting those boundaries with the person and letting them know straightforward that you are looking for a relationship and you're not trying to do anything of that sort. Letting them know is super important because sometimes you can send mixed feelings. Setting those boundaries right away. Getting a boy to like you back, periods, and virginity. This video is so interesting. Really opening up to you guys today. Getting a boy to like you back. A part of me wants to tell you that you do not need to get a boy to like you back, but I get it. It's fun. I guess playing hard to get, I should be giving you good advice. Just be yourself from day one, and if they don't like you back for who you are, that's it. Next boy. Thank you, next. Periods. Virginity advice. That is also broad, but I'll get into it a little bit more into this video. Period tips. Chocolate, a heating pad, Advil. Why am I afraid of relationships? You should be. I'll tell you my reason why I was afraid of relationships, and maybe it will give you some clarity. We're all surrounded by relationships our whole life. Movies, family members, friends, and not only that, but heartbreak. So it makes sense to be afraid of relationships, and that is okay. I'm going on a flight alone for 12 hours. I'm scared. Ooh, a 12-hour flight. Just think that once you get on the plane and you start relaxing, all will be okay. Bring things that make you comfortable and entertain yourself. Sleep on the plane. I hope it goes well. I'm a senior and I've never had a boyfriend or even my first kiss. Don't rush it, girl. It's okay to not have your first kiss or a boyfriend. My first boyfriend was last year. It's better to wait it out, find the right person, than to rush into it and then possibly regret it, because that's what I did. So good for you. So there's this person I'm really good friends with, but she shows way too much PDA with her boyfriend to the point that everyone around us is uncomfortable. How do I tell her about this without offending her? Is it a toxic friendship if I'm scared to talk to my own friend friend about this. Personally, I would never be offended by that. I would be like, thank you so much for telling me, I'll cool it. I honestly think that the way that you worded it to me is a way that you could word it to her. Is it a toxic friendship? Not necessarily. It can be hard to bring up certain things to people, especially when it's a touchy subject like that. I feel like it's more about her reaction. So if she accepts it and she's nice to you about it, not a toxic friendship at all. But if she's mean and she's not understanding about how everyone else feels, then that could be kind of a toxic friendship. How do you have your life together? I don't. Keep in mind that this YouTube channel is basically my highlight reel of life, so I do not have my life completely together, and you don't have to either. That's okay. This boy said that I was cute to his friend since he's quite blunt and I found out, but I'm not sure if he knows that I know. He says he doesn't want to date at the moment because of school, but he said maybe in the future, but college is going to come around where we might not ever see each other again, and I'm confused what he means by future. He's in my classes this year and it's kind of awkward for me and possibly for him too. This is a tough one. I'm gonna be blunt like the guy. If he says he doesn't want to date because of school, he doesn't want to date. I mean, the circumstances can be different every time, obviously, and of course he's busy with school, but if he really wants to be with you, he would have made it happen either way. Remember, that is just my experience with guys saying they're too busy or they have too much going on. You make time for what you want, but I hope you figure it out, and I hope I wasn't too blunt like this guy. Study tips, homework motivation, fitness motivation, self-care, self-worth, and mental health. My biggest study tip is to set a 20-minute timer. I feel like 20 minutes is just the right amount of time for you to get a good chunk of stuff done, but also not overwhelm you. Take little breaks in between, and it really helps me. Homework motivation, I'll put this quote on the screen that really helps me whenever I'm feeling not so motivated. Self-care, I actually have a self-care video, so I'll put it in the corner. Go check it out, and I'll link it down below. I'm starting a new job straight out of college and having self-doubts because I feel like I'm not ready for the real world. What are some things you do to increase your confidence? Oh my gosh, I feel this. I can't give very much advice on this subject because I just haven't experienced much of it, but next year I'm heading over to college, so I guess the biggest thing confidence-wise that I've done is remind yourself that this is the path of life, that there are so many other people who are in the same situation as you. You are going to kill it either way. So I am a socially awkward person. I want to talk to people, but I don't know what to say. I love making new friends though, so do you have any advice that I could use? Besides the general stuff that everyone says, the ones that you think are really helpful when you made friends. Thank you. Oh, I love this one. My freshman year in high school, I had to switch schools, so I understand completely. The biggest advice that I can give to you is to join clubs. I know that's kind of general. Join sports, that's the biggest thing that helped me make friends because you're kind of forced to be friends with them. The things that I used to talk to people about when getting to know them is what they like to do, what they're doing on the weekend. Just basic things like that will help you get friends, and I wish you the best of luck with it. Also, I'm your friend, so DM me if you need anything. So I'm 17 and I've only kissed one guy, and that was 2 years ago. Is that normal? Tell us about your first kiss. I think that's completely normal. You don't have to have a certain number of guys kissed by a certain amount of time. There is no normal. My first kiss, okay, I've gotten asked this so many times. I really just want to make it its own video, like a story time. But basically, I was just in 8th grade. It was awful. It was embarrassing. Yeah. This guy I sort of had a thing with 2 years ago keeps snapping me like every 3 months. But every time he does, it's always about asking me for advice about other girls and checking up on me to see if I've recently dated or hooked up with anyone. But I don't get why he cares when he's asking me about other girls. Do you think he's trying to make me jealous? Because I don't even like him anymore. Oh boy. This guy just sounds like an attention whore. Since the relationship was 2 years ago, I wouldn't think he's trying to make you jealous. I mean, he could be, but it kind of sounds like he's just bored. And if it's bugging you and you don't even like him anymore, honestly, just leave him on red. There's this guy in my class and he's dated 6 of my friends. I have 8 friends in my friend group. Really? What a freaking dick. And he's targeting me. I've liked him since middle school and I'm not sure what I should do. Should I date him or should I stick with my friends? Absolutely stick with your friends. Never choose a guy over your friends because your friends will always be there, the guy always won't, especially when it's a younger high school type relationship. Also, considering that he's dated 3/4 of your friend group, I would just stick with your friends. OMG, Nikki, I'm in my school's bathroom right now and I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone in my senior class. We had a Christmas party party and I was wearing light wash jeans, and when I stood up, my pad leaked. My crush was sitting right behind me and started laughing. I ran to the bathroom about to cry, but I saw your video. But still, Nikki, what do I do? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Been there, done that. First off, let me just say that I have seen a few girls throughout my high school career leak through their pants. It's a natural thing to happen. Guys don't have to deal with it. So like literally, I can't. The fact that your crush started laughing at you is so immature. As time goes on, people will forget. An example of this is one time I was in ballet with my pink ballet tights and I was bleeding and there was blood running down my ballet tights. Yep, no one remembers though. So I mean, yeah, it'll be okay. I feel left out with my friends. This is the worst. I recommend either bringing it up to them and hoping that they change, and if not, you have plenty of time to find a new friend group or be with people who don't leave you out and who are actually nice. So I'm at high school and all of my friends are starting to drink at parties and stuff. I made the decision of not drinking, but sometimes I can't relate to them and I just feel weird in a way. I'm also worried about them and want them to be safe, but I also feel like I have to respect their decision as well. Good for you, choosing not to drink, not giving into that peer pressure. That is awesome. You'll save yourself a lot of tears, a lot of regrets. I totally understand you feeling worried about them. You're a good friend, but also keep in mind they are making their decision to drink. So if they want to have fun, let them have their fun. And if they get into trouble, that's on them. Hopefully there's some other people around you that you could surround yourself with when they choose to party. I think I'm falling for a not so close friend. He's amazing, but we only talk occasionally, so I feel like we aren't close enough for me to actually like him. Do you think I just like him or just the thought of having a boyfriend? By the way, love your channel. Love you. Oh my god, I'm going through the same thing. I really didn't talk to this guy that much, but I couldn't tell if I really liked him or if I was literally bored. I feel like a lot of the times us girls and guys fantasize about the future and make things better than they seem. So you might think, oh, I really like this guy, but it could just be because you made it up in your head thinking like, oh, this could be good. Hopefully that made sense. If you're asking yourself, do I really like him or do I just like the thought of it? Okay guys, I'm gonna do one more. I've been talking for so long and my throat is hurting. How to know if a guy likes you even if the only way you guys talk is him asking what the homework is. And occasionally snap, but for like an hour or more. Sorry, that was a mouthful, but also you're gorgeous. Once again, thank you. The only way to know for sure if a guy likes you, hate to break it, but asking him. That is not the most ideal thing to do, obviously, but maybe even starting up an interesting little conversation. You could get some answers that way. You can ask him to hang out. You can flip the role and ask him if you want to do homework together. But yes, my throat hurts. Okay. Anyway, that is all of the advice that I have for you guys today. I hope I helped some of you out, helped you guys feel a little bit less alone. I'm gonna say it one more time. This is not the correct thing to do, but this is what I would do just based off of my experience. I'm gonna leave it at that for this first episode, I guess. I love you guys so much and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Around yourself. My dog is barking.